December 29th, 9:43 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 5. Yeah, good morning, Max. Max? Milk. What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick? Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Huh? You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little bit. No. We can't be having you fly around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see it now, the dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really, no one needs to fly today. Nick? What's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. Hey everybody, Louis369 here. Welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. I might figure shorten this just Ace Attorney Justice for All. In the last episode, we concluded our investigation, and you know what? We found an interesting cast of characters to deal with in the District Court Courtroom number 2. So let's get into this one. And now the case of one... What? Your Honor, get on with it. Oh, sorry, I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So? Well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor, he does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that's to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. That spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. It did not count. Do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch. Nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of a Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. It's not like it'll bring your dad back. There, opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap up this waste of time. Very well, you may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe, get up there, now! Well, she's off to a hot start. Sorry to keep you from your work, because I'm sure you need every penny you can earn, Detective. Don't mention it, it's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well, I'd like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. Alright, Detective, you may proceed with your testimony. He's gonna give us the details of the events. The night of the crime, snow has fallen until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All the circus performers were gathered in the Big Top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. I see, he was beaten to death. Here's the autopsy report for the victim. Court accepts this into evidence. Huh. What object, hmm? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Blunt force trauma. Back of the head. We obviously know the thing about no footprints. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground up until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's gotta be more to this. What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? Let's see what else he has to say. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot, Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch up my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. 10 p.m. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben the ventriloquist went to the front gate and absorbed his own world. The ringmaster and Max went up to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? Seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. They don't need to know that. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. Oh, I didn't mean to read that twice. I usually don't. I'd like you to specify to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15. Okay, not a problem, pal. We've got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ow! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? A wooden box. That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It's a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked. Not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? 20 pounds? This may be my only chance. I might as well ask some questions. What was in it? Do you mind telling us what was inside that box? Well, we found the box. It was locked tighter than Fort Knox. And so we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, Detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There's only one little bottle in that huge box. I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning. According to the autopsy report, the murder weapon was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it's something the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially if you didn't find it on the scene. No, I bet he made it disappear with magic. Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe in this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we've wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. I don't know, but wrapped up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trillo will show up on the stand today as well. I hope not. God damn it. Please state your name and occupation for the record. My full name is Trilloquist. I am employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me. The witness called to the stand was one Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. That robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Well, fine, I'll grace you with a song. Me, 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 me. The world of the law, exciting and daring. Guilt or innocence, decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? Had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trillo, you know better than insult a judge. Shut up! Just look at your nose. You would think you had the you'd think you'd have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly. I want to punch you in the face off a chance to swell. On the off chance It's so ugly. I want to punch you in the face on the off chance swelling would help. You know that your nose is a reason you'll never be an A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy saying everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order, order! I demand to know who the witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillo handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about your getting your ouch! You won't get anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed. I really don't want to cross-examine these people. This person. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. That's where I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one headed that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene, you're sure of that? Without a doubt, he had on his silk hat, cloak, and the dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, Dress Boy. Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean the clown committed the crime? Huh, he's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why's that? Here's absolute proof. Silk hat? This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for this hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are very unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating the obvious, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Sadly. The clown. You're talking about Mo. God damn it. Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand him. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Let's practice over. He's 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first place loser, that guy's the head of the pack. And what happened? By the plaza's entrance. To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging house have been a better idea? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your lawyers nowadays. You're like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Jeez, could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a bit more effort into preparing your questions. You saw Max and only Max, right, Trillo? That's right. That makes him the killer. There's only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense and makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something amiss in this? I don't think there's any proof it was Max. Wait a second! There's no proof that the witness saw Maximilian Galactica. Hey, you still don't get it, do ya? I saw what I saw. It was Max's three-piece joke of a costume. Alright, let's say it all together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. I think you should study up on your celebrities, Mr. Wright. Great, now I'm getting shut down by a toy. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around... Hey, what time was it? I think it was around, I'd say, a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10 p.m., so he hung around the lodging house the entire time? I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you just stayed outside in that weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you believe that we just stand outside in that weather? Well, maybe you're waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix, Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories. But this witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm on to something. Mr. Wright? What do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night? Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. Wah! You're waiting outside for Regina to come back to the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you can't really ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw, don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt this witness's testimony. There are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's move along with the testimony. Trillo wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of the bitter love triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got knocked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Do I have to double press this? You sure it's really next like maybe it's this one. That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Does it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? What? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose this witness could have seen? Oh, the ringmaster. That's the victim. That's correct. If Trillo was at the entrance to the plaza, he should have seen the ringmaster as well. Obviously, the ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. could have seen him. Anyone with senses could have figured that out. Oh wait, arrived at the scene of the crime before anyone could have seen him. Okay. What are you talking about? The Ringmaster and Max went together to the Ringmaster's room. Is that according to the defendant? A likely story. If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the Ringmaster's room, why was he just as the witness stated at the scene of the crime? Ah! I see. Alright. There's obviously a reason why this witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. Ah! That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there's a high likelihood that he could have missed someone, or else he could. Damn it! Ow! There's absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright, I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true, I was waiting for Regina. Pain! Don't volunteer things! Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think the humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. Or pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some sort of silly proposal by a puppet. Honestly, I agree with Von Karma here. Don't be so surprised I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her and everything. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I still got it in my pocket. You were going to propose? You? A puppet? Don't be show off too. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your cross-examination. What was with that sigh at the end? Well, he doesn't have the ring because I have the ring, so he's lying. Spoiler alert, this is a ring. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Huh? Really? Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright. I guess that wasn't it. I mean, I know that ring is... So you're still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am! I spent 3 months salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give it up that easily. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him some heck. The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? How was you gonna propose so we can become some sort of outlaw biker gang together? Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it. That's the truth. What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was gonna give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring? Wow. Those nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Francisca's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human. Ow! I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring, I'd like to stick to the facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. Okay, now can I do this? I was just early. Never wrong, just early. Trillo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're gonna double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine! Give it back, thief! Did you just testify about this very object? I believe you said in the end I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Arrgh! What is going on here? That's... Ben, say something! Don't put me on the spot like that, Trillo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean room they put money in? Like a bank vault? Ha! Filthy monkey's gotta get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering an innocent fiat in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey in every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then, Money likes to go after the shiniest things he can find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trillo! When was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night. The night of the crime. What did you just say? Details, I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ah, yow! Oh. Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. Has nothing to do with anything, especially not with who committed a murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trillo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Trillo Quist. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trillo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring snatching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. When he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just said that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well, then tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster. He obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Ha! I told you so many times. You think you know my story's not changing. You already changed your story, stick boy, and I'm sure it'll change some more. Where there's one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah! Please be almost done with this testimony. I'll give you that I was waiting for Regina. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. That doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactic at the scene. There's no way I can mistake someone wearing those three ridiculous symbols. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right, Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose, 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Oh, Allegro kicked in, so we're getting close. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot to have. An awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous for a case than Trullo. Yeah, if he doesn't know. Oh my god. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night? Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially when I was waiting for Regina. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure this out by yourself. You already know the practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. and you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? Oh, what time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Ow! I'm no good at math. It was 10:10 p.m. Ah, yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning, good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performance. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming off a bit stale. I'm sure that— Ow! You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you? Don't get so wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should know better. Ow! 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 That hurts! That should have set him straight. You may proceed with your testimony, witness. How did he die? Aha! Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why— Shit. Well, if you hate Max so much, why did you bother being nice to him? Strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly, how is it strange to be cordial to one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ow, that hurt! Maybe you should think of having some proof next time before you start flapping your lips. Proof of everything in this world. You should have learned that fact back in grade school. There's no reason that Trillo would ever say something nice to Max, but I'm gonna go about proving that with evidence. Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure I already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument, a disagreement at most. Disagreement doesn't usually end with someone getting clonked over the head. Ah! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch! Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival. Gwah! Are you saying that the witness is lying? That he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quiz. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? He did see somebody. It's my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means that there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world? You... The defense kindly explain who it was that Trillo saw that evening then? There's only one person it could have been. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor. It is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trillo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh. Yeah, I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct, it was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Order! Order! How do you respond to this? How do you respond to this? But wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica, or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's three symbols. Three symbols. Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you gotta remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now. Ow! Yes, yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's three symbols. However, do we really know that it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Karma? Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, That's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes! I think we've won a point with this one. That is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to that question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there's no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess.